What's going on, Washington Commanders Nation? It's your boy Rio Robinson, back with the latest and greatest on the Rambling with Rio YouTube channel, where we ramble about the Washington Commanders, the currently last place in the NFC East Washington Commanders. It's Wednesday. It's 7:45, so you already know what's going on. It's a game preview. It's Dallas week. Does Dallas week have the same luster as it usually have? It doesn't, but I got the all black to match the aesthetic that the team will be pulling out and debuting in Jerry World on Sunday. We're pulling out the black alternate uniforms for the first time. Ron and company said we need a spark, so they're pulling them out. What's going on? Darius, Michael, and John Greaves. Right here. All right, I'm back. But whenever there's Dallas content to talk about, there's no one other to bring in than my guy Mark Holmes, almost at 50,000 subscribers. And I know he's on his high horse coming off the victory they had versus the Giants on Monday. So welcome him into the show. Mark Holmes, Cowboy Joe Boo. What's going on, big dog?
I'm saying stupid as a stupid do it.
What up, Rio? Rio, okay, first of all, let me say something here real quick. Right, I had gotten back home from being on the road and stuff and working in my work clothes, and I actually had on this, I ordered these men's shirts.
Burgundy.
Well, they're men's shirts that make you not look so fat. Okay. And, they came in a pack of different colors. So I was doing painting and all kinds of dirty shit. So I had the burgundy one on, and Rio's like, "You're wearing burgundy for today?" I was like, "Oh, fuck, let me get rid of that." So shout out to I Love Weed. He sent me a shirt. So I just grabbed this and put it on there. The only thing, look, if you are a fan of mine and you want to send me something, don't send me an XL. Please send me a 2XL, because this is a baby tee. Okay, this is okay. Now it's good because the camera's not showing my belly, so actually right now I look kind of like
Hey, look a little diesel. You look like you can get on the field right now.
But you look down here. I look like I'd be on the defensive line. That's what I look like. I look like John Ridgway. But thank you, Rio, for bringing me in on your channel tonight. This brings back memories for me because I grew up in the heyday of when the Washington Redskins were actually a good team in winning Super Bowls.
I wouldn't know.
Week was something special. This time of the week, there would be trash talking back and forth between the players, bulletin board material. I know a lot of you don't understand what bulletin board material means. That's when they actually had to, out of a newspaper, cut out clippings and put it on the bulletin board for everybody to read. But it's kind of lost the luster.
It's definitely lost its luster, and that's what I was talking about just now. And Mark better be lucky that I love him, and that's my guy, because I should have let him wear burgundy for this show, because Dallas Nation would have been so sick watching him match the aesthetic of my team and the show. But yeah, man, Dallas week, I'm trying to build up the hype. Maybe it's the black uniforms or something. I'm trying to get excited for it because we're coming off of two devastating victories where we looked absolutely putrid. Like versus Philly, we got nothing going for the entire game. And Mark texted me to check in on me. I'm not talking no shit this week. I'm just.
You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. This is how bad this is. Okay, it has lost in its luster. So, oh shit! Here's Philly 500 trying to call in. Do I want to answer this?
Hey, go ahead and see what Philly's talking about.
Philly, I'm on with your brother Rio right now.
Okay, I just saw that you called.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll call you back later, son.
Enjoy first place.
Love you, Daddy. Okay. Here's how crazy it is. Okay, so we had the late night game. I mean, because by the time I get finished doing the game, do my post game stuff and all that, I had to go down the country. I forgot we played you guys this week. And you sent me a text of like, okay, 7:45 tomorrow night. And I'm like, for what? I was like, oh, shit, it's Washington week. It's like I literally forgot. It used to be you'd wake up Monday morning and you knew, it's Dallas week. You would hear the good old, "We want Dallas" and everything else. And you'd hear all the hate. Right?
I mean, we always want Dallas. We always want Dallas. Just right now, it's more of a humble, we want Dallas instead of a loud.
We want Dallas to save our season. You guys, brother spare a victory for us.
It's a must-win situation for us coming off the Eagles and Lions losses, a conference loss and a division loss back-to-back, 2 division losses, and it may be curtains early in the season for us, but yeah, man, I'm trying to get excited for it, and I think this is a very winnable game for us. You guys look good right now, and your pass rush scares the absolute shit out of me. Y'all lead the league in sacks with what? 13, 14 sacks. We've given up 15 sacks in our last 2 games, and Carson Wentz has been absolutely shell-shocked over the last couple of weeks. What is the identity of the Cowboys through 3 weeks of the season?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing that's different. Okay, of course, we've got in Rush we trust. Everybody. Of course, the most popular guy is the backup quarterback. When he gets on the field, if he performs and everything else, and then it's like we don't need Dak Prescott. But the Cowboys did what I actually said before the Tampa Bay game that I hope that they do with the offense. They use 12 personnel to help the running attack because you've got, Tyler Smith, who's, a rookie who, I'll be honest with you, right now, I believe the Dallas Cowboys offensive line is better now than it was at the end of the year last year.
Ooh.
Tyler Smith is without a doubt the best backup that Tyron Smith has ever had. And I can go through the Chaz Greens and the Ty Nasekis. I know Ty Nasekis and guys.
My boy.
Okay, stepped in. He hasn't skipped a beat. He's rated out so far for the first 3 weeks, 67. Not world beating, but being a rookie in 3 games in and going against Tampa Bay with that pass rush and stuff. And he's been playing and balling, and they're actually mauling people. Our weakness is right now Matt Fornick, who's been in for Connor McGovern. But even when we put Jason Peters in, Jason Peters actually averaged out at a 69 for the 14 plays. So after he gets himself underneath there, all of a sudden we've got a road grading offensive line that can actually open up some holes. But not only with the 12 personnel, they're using the tight ends a lot more. Even though Dalton Schultz was out, we used Hendershot caught 3 passes and Jake Ferguson got 2 passes in there. And we actually use 12 personnel like 50% of the time and play action off of it. Cooper Rush is great at play action. 158 of his 219 yards were out of play action. So definitely getting the running game going, which was key. We had 176 yards running the football. When you can run the football and have to have 8 people in the box, then that opens up the lanes for the receivers.
Yep, and it opens up play action, which we can't we try to play action without a run game established, and the shit makes no sense. But go ahead, continue.
Right. Yeah, but so that's where we are. So if they follow that game plan, that's a winning formula. And I hope when Dak gets back that we don't do like we did in Tampa Bay where we threw the ball 77% of the time. We only ran the ball 16 times and threw the ball 42 times, and basically have 2-man routes and you're getting eaten up. So if they do that, then the team can be pretty good. I mean, we've got what you guys thought you had in Chase Young and Micah Parsons.
Absolutely. That guy is absolutely generational. And for those who didn't like the comparison, Lawrence Taylor spoke on it himself this week. He got to see him up close.
Yeah, saying, let's see if he can do it for 13 years. And also, too, that basically supported him saying, man, I can't wait to see what you're doing. You're the real deal. So, you can't get much higher praise than that. And, of course, we bitch slapped the Giants. And it's crazy that you guys are in the basement.
It is, man. I'm coming off a week 1 high, and it's been an absolute low the last 2 weeks, man. You guys pass rush. That is going to decide that is going to determine if we do anything this week. But you've seen 2 weeks of Cooper Rush. My guy John wants to know: are you guys headed for a QB controversy? Because I see a lot of your fans. I remember me and DMV were laughing because people were saying Dak needs to study Cooper Rush. I see a lot of your fans saying we don't need to
saying that.
Oh, that was your fans are saying it too. And a lot of people are like, see, Cooper he plays winning football. Are you guys headed for a QB controversy in Dallas? Which is an egregious question, but I got to ask you.
Okay, here's the thing. With Dak Prescott, and believe me, the first game that Cooper Rush loses, they're going to throw him off the ridge. I mean, literally, this is the same guy that before the season started, screw Cooper Rush, Will Greer, or they'd say, go get Kaepernick or go get Cam, go get Cam. They would want anybody but Dak. Okay. I saw people that say we should go get Johnny Manziel. I mean, seriously.
Yep.
Seriously, we have people that, so it doesn't matter what those guys think because they still say that Dak Prescott, he's just dinking and dunking, or he's just getting garbage time yards and things. And see, people don't seem to understand. Like, say in 2020, we're scoring 38 points and losing games because the other team's scoring 42.
Mm-hmm.
You got a defense right now that's giving up only 17 points a game.
Phenomenal. It scares me. It gives me nightmares after seeing what we've done the last couple of weeks, but it's absolutely absurd that you guys are discussing quarterback controversy. See, that's the thing. NFL fans, their favorite player is the backup quarterback. If for some unforeseen reason your quarterback is not a top 5 guy of all time, if the backup has to step in, people will treat them like they're Jesus of Nazareth, and they don't ever want to see the starter again, and it's crazy.
Okay. Back in the day, I remember them wanting to get rid of Roger Staubach, booing Roger Staubach. Okay. I mean, seriously. Okay. Troy Aikman towards the end of his career, same thing. You would think that, okay, he deserves, a little bit of leeway here and things because he is Troy Aikman. Oh, no. Cowboy fans, they're merciless. You can end up being, great and have some great plays, and they're ready to kill you if you have one screw up.
Oh, that's everybody though. Like, I understand Wentz has had a rough last couple weeks, but our fans are like clamoring to put Heineke in. There's no solution or answer coming in the form of Taylor Heineke. If you think Wentz is struggling, like, do you want to see a guy who can't push the ball down the field and processes even slower get on the field?
Right. Well, here's what I would say or actually ask you, okay, because you guys are paying Carson Wentz, what, $29 million?
Yep, $28 million.
You swapped second round picks, right? So they moved up 5 spaces.
Yep, and if he plays 75% of snaps, next year's third turns into a 2. So it does bring up an interesting conundrum. If the season goes under rails and it goes catastrophically bad, at some point, maybe you do got to pull him, so we've given up a third instead of a 2. But we're not there yet in week 4. We're not there yet, but you would think.
I don't know because, okay. And truth be told, I mean, he's got 7 TDs and only 3 interceptions.
But he's got a couple fumbles as well, back-breaking fumbles. And the sacks, I would put like 70% of the sacks on him. Like, Carson Wentz is an interesting case study as a quarterback because his game athletically and physically, what he can do, it represents a gunslinger. But his psyche and his mental doesn't have the mindset of a gunslinger. A gunslinger in nature, Brett Favre, Eli Manning, Tony Romo, they will throw 5 interceptions and shake that shit off like it's nothing, come back in, light you up, and win the game. Carson Wentz makes mistakes, and he's in his head the entire duration of the rest of the game. That's why it was such an outlier week 1 that he came back and threw back-to-back touchdowns and win the game. He has to be a gunslinger if he's a gunslinger. You cannot get gun shy once you've been sacked a bunch of times or you've made some mistakes, and that's the issue with him so far.
But you know what? I hate stupid football.
Oh, I do too.
And I'm sitting here. Okay, now here's where your team didn't help him any
at all.
Okay, so here it is. The score is 17-0. You get the ball back with just under 3 minutes to go. Your quarterback has been rattled. He has been sacked like crazy. You got like minus 10 yards passing or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
What does your team do? They end up throwing the ball 3 times in a row.
Yep.
Take off 15 seconds. They kick the ball to the Giants. The Giants go down and score another score. And my team, and believe me, that's some Kellen Moore shit right there. That's some Jason Garrett shit. You got to look at the thing and say, you know what? Our quarterback is rattled right now. Let's run the football. Because if we run the football, we will at least cause them to take a timeout, or we can run off 40 seconds each time. And if they had done that, they could have given the ball back to the Eagles maybe with less than a minute left, and then hopefully they don't score. Because in the end, the Eagles didn't do shit in the second half. They didn't score.
For the second week in a row versus the Vikings and versus us, they did nothing, but we offered no resistance at all.
But see, look, had that happened, had you not given up that touchdown, and again, you could have eaten up the clock and say, let's just be happy we're going in 17 under. Mm-hmm. It's a different game because you're starting to play and get back into the game. But by that point, you're already down 24. You were getting back into it. So your offensive coordinator, Turner, did not help your quarterback. You got to understand, he was hurting, and your running backs were actually gaining good yardage.
Mm-hmm. It's sad. Like there's no Scott Turner, a guy that I've rode for, Norv's little boy. Scott Turner's game plan the last couple weeks, it hasn't made any sense. We're coming out with play action passes with no run game established. The running game actually starts to do a little bit. We abandon it. We're trying to stretch the field vertically before we get the quick game going. And we're doing these long developing pass plays, and Wentz is our tackles are either getting their ass whooped or Wentz is walking into sacks, and his pocket presence hasn't been there. But in no way, shape, or form do I want to see Heineke. If shit gets bad enough this year that we have to if shit gets bad enough this year and we have to see another quarterback play and we have to pull Wentz, it better be Sam Howell. We know what Taylor Heineke is. He's a 30-year-old journeyman, undrafted guy who's a great story and who will be the MVP of any brewery he ever walks in, but he's not anything near a solution at the quarterback position. You put your rookie 5th-round pick in and ride it out with him if you have to make a quarterback change. But we're not there yet. We are not there yet at all. I
tell you what, if you lose to the Cowboys badly, you might be there.
If we get our ass stomped out in our new black uniforms on Sunday in Jerry World, like these losses are bad because we lose in the same fashion, and it feels like in year 3 of Ron Rivera, things aren't going as north as they should be. And what all the Panthers fans told me when we hired Ron, it's all coming into fruition to bite us in the ass at this point. And it's starting to look like if something doesn't drastically change this year, it may be time to push a full reset, which I'm sick of being a fan of this team. All we do is reset. And hopefully it starts with Dan Snyder, but we know that motherfucker's never going anywhere. Do you think Dan's ever going to have to sell the team?
Well, I tell you what, I remember asking you a few weeks ago about Ron Rivera. I said, if it ends up being that this season goes south, I said, could Ron Rivera be on the hot seat? And you said no, because Ron has been sent from heaven. Ron is the only good thing about the franchise. He is the face of it. And, he's what's kind of taking away some of the sting.
Culture.
But right now, it's just looking bad. I'm just trying to. And again, I'm a Cowboy fan, so I don't have too much sympathy. But between the stadium is terrible. At least it didn't fall down on Jalen Hurts this week.
Shit, I wish it did at this point.
The product on the field is awful, and it seems like every quarterback you touch, it's like the end of their career.
Yep.
And you look at it from the standpoint of now you're getting some owners that are saying, we could vote him out, because I don't see what it is that Dan Snyder is bringing to the table to the rest of them.
He doesn't bring any. The only thing I could think possibly that he's bringing to the table is that he has dirt on other owners and he's stubborn enough to take them with him.
But the scary thing should be is week 1 seeing Roger Goodell with what's his name from Amazon, Jeff Bezos. Sitting up in there. And Amazon's got Thursday Night Football. He's got a whole lot of money. Could you imagine if Jeff Bezos bought the Washington Commanders?
It'd be crazy. I don't know if I could see the NFL owners letting someone like the NFL owners are rich, but his rich is different. And I don't know if they let someone with that power and reach into the fraternity.
This would be the coup d'etat, whatever the fuck that is. Commanders, your stadium in space.
The Amazon
he could do that shit.
the Amazon Prime Dome from outer space. He see, that's the thing. This motherfucker is so rich, he can do anything. And the NFL Shield and fraternity, are they really gonna let a guy in that could stroke a check for every team in the league if he wanted to and not even dent his net worth? I don't know if they're letting that in. I think he buys the Suns. I think he'll easily be able to buy an NBA team because it's much different and less political over there. But shout out to Sandeep for the 99-cent super chat, and shout out to my guy David Wiley. He said Rio Holmes. That's Mark's guy over there.
Yeah, that's my chef, man. You know David Wiley.
Yeah, hell yeah, David. Well, of course, our guy. Yeah. Hell yeah, my guy that gets that. I see you on Sunday, David. I'm coming through with the burgundy and gold, and hopefully y'all aren't pissing me off this weekend. But before we get to any more of this game stuff, do you want to touch on any of this cop pistol shit?
Well, I tell you what, you guys got it over there on that. Okay, yeah, because I see you got like maybe some Giant fans that are up in there too. Mm-hmm. Now let me say this. Okay, first of all, this belt is not my property. That belt was originally a bet made by Michael and Philly 500 years ago. Okay. And Eagles won. Michael honored the bet. Then he decided to bring in Pizzle, in which case we were doing stuff back and forth last year and things. And we've done, stuff on your channel and things like that. Mm-hmm. For me, I love talking football. I love trash talking about football, but things aren't meant to be personal. There's nothing in there that says, I need to talk about your wife, how your wife looks, or how your kids look, or things like that. There's a point where you take stuff down too low and dirty. And so I said to Pistol early in the week, I said, hey, man, I understand that's your game. That's your game. That's what you want to do. That's cool. But, if we're going to talk about Mark Holmes as an idiot because LT, I compared Micah Parsons to LT. Okay, that's cool. If you want to say I do 50 million videos a day and all that, and I'm delusional, that's okay. But we can do that. But you want to take it to another level and be down in the sewer? I'm not going to be in the sewer rat with the New York stinking Giants. I'm just not going to do that because I get people coming in and calling, because it brings in a different element. I'm old. I'm 56 years old, and I've deserved enough time on this earth to earn enough respect that I don't need to have people coming in my channel that are New York fans saying nigger this, F that, your moderator women are whores and things like that. And I said, I'm not.
That's crazy. That's another level that this shit doesn't ever need to go to.
And I told that to Pistol. I said, you want to go ahead and us talk trash about football back and forth? We can do that. But I'm not going down there that low on that stuff. And he's like, oh, man, this is what the people want. Well, if that's what your people want, and that's what a lot of people want, that's cool. Then you can do that over there. So I did not stream him in my game like that. And that's cool. I got no problem with them. I'm not going to go ahead and tell somebody else how to run their other channel. And if you like that, by all means, go in there with them and have fun with it. I'm just not going to do that because most of my fan base are like-minded individuals here. When I look at Sugar Daddy, Always a Lady, Kelvin Edwards, and Jim Laws and stuff, they're not here for that kind of stuff. We're older people. So that's the way it is. And I see some of y'all say, oh, well, Mark's talking now that the Cowboys won. I ain't been nowhere. And
Mark posts 100 videos a day. This motherfucker does not stop talking.
In fact, Pistol ought to be glad that I didn't bet him because he would have lost another one again.
Oh, man.
Right? It's like, get back to me when the Giants actually beat the Cowboys.
Hey, and that's enough on the topic. But when it comes to doing this stuff, we have fun. I think Pizzle's style is more of the WWE attitude era promo type style. And there are certain lines and certain boxes that you don't cross between men to men. But let's get back to this goddamn football game on Sunday. You brought up a guy, Chase Young, and you brought up your guy, Micah Parsons. What does it feel like to have a truly generational guy anchoring your defense? And do y'all need to just move him as a full-time pass rusher because he's unstoppable off the edge?
Well, I tell you what, his problem is going to be is, I don't know how much you watched that Giant game, but he was being double-teamed and triple-teamed all night. They were literally, he's going against the guard and tackle and then getting the back that's also sticking in there. And he's still putting on pressure with people. It's just almost amazing. But because they were basically saying, we're not going to let that guy beat you, it ended up being that Dante Fowler would have had 2 sacks had Frank Kellen Joseph not ended up putting a face mask. He had 2 sacks that night. D-Law had 3. So by him occupying all of those guys over there, the rest of the dogs are hunting like crazy. And like I said, we've got 13 sacks for the first 3 games. If you were to quantify that, the 4.3 average, that's 73 sacks on a season, which would actually be more than the 85 Bears. Now, I don't know that they can do that, but last year's, I think, was 56 was the most last year.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
You start talking about 13 sacks in 3 games, and you got Carson Wentz coming up,
who's been sacked 15 times in the last 2 weeks. He's been sacked more than y'all. The league leading team has sacks in 3 games, which frightens me. So if we don't have a game plan ready to get that quick game and the run game going, it may be a long day in Dallas, but I do like our chances. Let's start going matchup to matchup. Starting with quarterback advantage. Advantage Carson Wentz or advantage Cooper Rush?
If they call the plays, where we're doing 12 personnel and running the football, I'll take my team. I think we got a better offensive line, so that will help the quarterback.
Okay. I'm still taking my guy. I'm taking my guy, Carson Wentz, because at through and through, he's still a starting quarterback, and he's not terrible, man. And yes, Cooper Rush knows the system in Dallas, and y'all have a better offensive line, so y'all can actually protect him. But I think if we actually can somewhat slow down your pass rush and get a run game. Antonio Gibson got to do something this week. At some point, Antonio Gibson has to have a running back game where he goes off. I need a game like Thanksgiving 2020 where he absolutely went crazy in Jerry World. We got to get our run game going, but I'm going advantage Carson Wentz, which goes next to our running back room. It's an easy advantage for you guys, Pollard and Zeke. Who's the better running back in your running back room? Or is it just a perfect balance of both that they complement each other perfectly?
I'm going to go old school on you again before you were born here. Back in the day when listen, Washington kiddies, come on by the fire here. Let me tell you a tale here about the Washington Redskins. They were a team that was in Washington. They played at RFK Stadium, and they had this bruising back by the name of John Riggins. But not only him, they had a guy named Joe Washington who was their third down back. He was kind of small and quick, and he had great hands at catching the football. And between the two of them, they destroyed teams.
Soon. I wouldn't know any of the above, man. It would be great. It would be great to see football.
Here's the thing. If I need a half a yard, I'm giving it to Zeke. Zeke averaged 4.9 yards a carry that game as well. And you kind of soften up the middle. You pound the rock right up the middle. And then you start getting Tony Pollard in the second half, who's quick. Those defensive linemen who have been in here getting pounded on, by Zeke and everything else. Now I got to go run and catch a fast guy outside. It's thunder and lightning. It's, to me, everybody's like, oh, you need to start Tony Pollard. I'm not sure I want to have Tony Pollard trying to soften up the middle. I don't think his body will hold it up like Zeke's will. But between the two of them, you've got something special that you can just keep going. If I can get 150 yards a week running the football with the two of those, I don't care who says who's number one. Just give me the ball and run the damn rock.
Hell yeah. And nobody compared. Lawrence Taylor is the greatest defensive player of all time, but you'd be remiss and blind to not see that Micah Parsons in his first 20 games is not on a trajectory. He's already elite. He's already a first team All-Pro, and he's already building on it again. And he's doing these numbers as a part-time pass rusher. He's an off-ball backer who is just great at everything. I would love to have a player like that guy on my team. But let's move over to the receiver room. It was funny. As soon as all the CeeDee Lamb trolls. He's not a number one receiver. He's this, he's that. As soon as those tweets started piling up, he goes out there and clutches the Giants, had some tough catches, and he had a one-hander that put the game away.
Yeah, the left hand, the same hand he used to snatch that phone out at the draft. And I tell you what, Michael went off on him. He was like, yeah, screw CD. But seriously, how do you miss that? And CD is known. The CD's got a lot of drops already this season. And that worries me because, we anointed him to be part of the 88 club. And this is one of the things that I hate the Cowboys doing is the same way they said Randy Gregory's going to be the next Charles Haley, and you give him 94 and you put this pressure on him. Let CD be CD. He didn't want to have the 88 number. I think he wanted like 6 or 10 or something like that. He didn't know anything about that, but that was thrust upon him. He definitely needs other people around him as well. He's not a guy who's going to be able to take over. He is not that vocal guy that's going to be a Michael Irvin that's going to be in your face, but he does have some speed. He does have ability. I think he's just got to get it upstairs in his head to be more consistent. And I think with us, hopefully Michael Gallup gets back this week. I hope they don't rush him back. I think that will help because he'll be more of a deep threat that'll take some of the attention away. James Washington is still a few more weeks away, but he's really not been able to work out even in OTAs and things, so he'll be cold. So I'm not sure he's going to be able to do much. But we will be getting Dalton Schultz back, and with the advent of Hendershot as well as Jake Ferguson, it may not be that the wide receiver is what we really go to. It may be the tight ends, much like, New England back in the early, 2010 with Hernandez and Gronk.
Mm-hmm. And CeeDee Lamb, what are his deficiencies? What are the things he needs to work on to be a true and bona fide number one receiver for you guys?
You remember the movie The Replacements?
Absolutely.
With Clifford Franklin?
His hands.
Can we just smother him in with a whole bunch of stick because he can do the route. He just has the drops, man. It's just too many drops. If he can get his hands together, and I would like to see a little edge. I'd like to see him, he drops the pass and it's kind of like, okay. It's like, I don't want to see you laugh. Can I see you emotional? Can I see you pissed off? Oh, yeah. Can I see you upset that, we're not winning? And you can go ahead and show some emotion and say, hey, I got you guys. You guys rock for Dak. Dak, you get me the ball. We're going to win this game. Just give me some emotion.
Mm-hmm. So he's very nonchalant, and he's not. It seems like he's not into it. He's not as invested at times.
To me, yeah.
Hey, and shout out to Josh. He said Brian Robinson and Chase were working out. They look decent. I think Brian Robinson, my guess, I don't know anything personally. I think Brian Robinson comes off the PUP next week or he comes off the non-football injury list next week for the Titans game. I'm not sure, but I don't think we see Chase till mid to late October, but I hope we see him soon. And when he gets back, I better see some production. I don't want to hear we can't expect anything because he's coming off an injury. I need him to play like the second pick of the draft when he gets back, because I need to see at least a resemblance of generational from this guy. I need to see the pass rush moves. He worked with Von Miller this summer. I need to see that he's using his hands better. But moving on to another position, we're just talking about your tight ends. You guys clearly have the advantage at the tight end position with the 12 personnel that you offer. You have more than one option. We got Logan Thomas, and we got a couple young guys. John Bates is a great blocker, not a great receiving guy. We have a rookie who I've been talking about since August, but we haven't seen him yet. He has a phantom hamstring injury that has shut him down through the first 3 weeks of the season. So you guys easily have the advantage at tight end. So I'm not even going to waste your time on that. Offensive line, give me the skinny on you guys' offensive line, because ours looks like absolute dreck the last 2 weeks.
I hate to say that, Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones have been telling us, we trust our own guys. We have 81% of our guys are guys they drafted. We as fans, when we see, Von Miller wants to come here, and we see, the shiny new pieces, or the Giants, they're signing receivers and things like that. We get rid of guys, and, we figure that we're going to be terrible. Jerry and Steven said, trust the process and shit. When you look at our offensive line, I was like, okay, Tyron Smith is going to get hurt. We all know Tyler. It's not a matter of if, it's just when. He got hurt in training camp. He couldn't even get out of training camp before he got hurt. And you know that you've got a rookie who's been playing guard who now has to step in for him. And we've seen in the past guys stepping in for Tyron Smith. The offensive line has just went to shit. We had Biotish, who had been kind of a disappointment at center. He was no Travis Frederick. We had Connor Williams, who's being replaced by Connor McGovern. And, you know, he got inserted in the lineup last year and didn't do good enough that they put Connor Williams back in there. So going into the season, you ended up starting Tyler Smith at tackle, who worked out at guard all season. You had Connor McGovern, who really getting his first extended time on the field, and Tyron Smith is gone for pretty much the whole season. And you looked at that and said, we're screwed on the offensive line. And it looked that way against Tampa Bay. But Tyler Smith looks like he's the real deal. He's the highest graded rookie tackle right now. He looks a lot better than Evan Neal. The weak spot right now is Matt Fornick, because he's in for Connor McGovern, but we end up signing Jason Peters that the Eagles laughed at us. But in the 14 plays that he played at guard, because he looks like he's going to be playing guard, he was a road grader. And if he can get some, get his wind underneath of him and get in football shape, the offensive line is actually pretty good. Connor McGovern, Biotish is actually playing really good at center, which has helped. So, yeah, the offensive line has come together, and maybe by the end of the year will be one of the better run blocking offensive lines of football.
I wish I could say the same shit about our offensive line. Tyler Smith with the toss-up, right?
Tyler Smith was a toss-up?
Well, no, he went to Tulsa, right? College?
Yeah.
Okay, because we got his running mate in the 7th round. His name is Chris Paul. I think he needs to be inserted at right guard at some point, because Trey Turner is a fucking turnstile. Like he's just here to wear nice outfits and take pictures on game day. At this point, Mark in his medium t-shirt is ready to get past Trey Turner if he lined up versus him right now. He's terrible. Him and Andrew Norwell, they're not giving us any help from the interior side. And our center, who's actually the best lineman on the unit, Chase Rouillet, he's out for the season. He's on IR. He's gone. And our two tackles are struggling. Charles Leno and Sam Cosmi, they're getting whooped like a drum every week. There needs to be some type of shake. There needs to be some type of shake-up on that offensive line unit. And what bothers me is that it doesn't really feel like Ron and company go out and find what we need. Like, we tried out 4 receivers this week that I've never heard of, guys that are probably bagging groceries or selling insurance right now. And I think we only tried them out just to kick return, because Dax Milne offers nothing as a punt returner and a kick returner. He's a slow ass white boy, and he is not shifty, and he does nothing there. But
slow ass white boy.
It just feels like we don't go after things that we need. And if we do, we go to try to get a project to try to say, hey, we could coach him up. Sometimes you could just go get a guy that's established in the league, and we don't ever go fill that. But our O-line is going to be the key to victory for us. If they can compete, I'm not going to say stop or slow down. If they can compete with you guys, we have a good chance to win this game on Sunday. But right now, our offensive line and the quarterback, they're not giving us a chance offensively. And don't get me started on this defense, where we're going to segue into now. You guys is second.
Let me go back to your offensive line. As I was sitting there watching that game, I had a deja vu moment. Because in high school, as a senior, our whole offensive line, we were all seniors. We had a junior quarterback who was a bit of an asshole, and he was kind of arrogant. And we got together the last game of the season. That's
not block for him.
And we said, we're going to do the lookout block. And the lookout block was, we get up the line of scrimmage and we tell the defense, we're not blocking you. And when the ball snapped, we turned around and said, look out. And I swear, as I was watching that game, I was like, did the Eagles defensive lineman say, hey, bro, we're getting payback on Carson Wentz, man. Just make us look. Just let us go in there, and
it look like it.
We're gonna clean his clock out, and they were just kind of like, "Look out!" Because I swear, I was like, "Damn, this is just merciless.
Yeah,
this was just crazy."
I seen it up close.
Like, you You can't tell me that the Eagles' defensive line was that much better than every one of those guys out there because everybody was having the meeting at the quarterback.
Oh, yeah, it was definitely a party at Carson Wentz all day. And if it wasn't a party at him, the long developing play, Carson ended up walking into sacks that he didn't need to take. Sometimes just throw that shit out of bounds or throw that shit in the dirt, my guy. You do not have to make a play every play of the game. But you guys' defense, your front is going crazy right now. How has the secondary been through 3 weeks? Trevon Diggs is still the hardest cornerback in the league to evaluate.
He's so close on so many interceptions. But here's the thing. Your secondary doesn't have to be great. Take a look at the Giants teams when they were winning the Super Bowls, right? With that defensive front with Strahan and crew and all that.
O.C. Umenyiora.
Do you remember some of the guys that were defensive backs back there?
Not really. It was O.C. Umenyiora and Strahan and them going crazy. Yeah. Justin Tuck.
Right. When you have, a defensive front that's getting the quarterback 2.5 seconds, your secondary does not have to be that good.
Yes, it's too early.
But we've got Diggs is really good. And as much as Cowboy fans hate Anthony Brown is still really pretty good. He ended up getting 3 interceptions last year, and he is tight on coverage. And it was crazy because he was literally all over. Perfect position. The guy gets a catch, and people, he's trash. I'm like, what do you expect him to do? He's literally in the guy's back pocket without getting the flag on him. But our safeties are a lot better than what we've had in a long time, which is actually key. Usually our safeties are kind of like, Xavier Woods, where he literally is just lost in coverage and looking like a lead blocker, when the guys are going downfield. And one of the things about the Cowboys is they are so good at fundamentals. You may get a play. You may get a good pass down the field, but you're not getting yards after the catch. They tackle well, and they come as a gang for you. And that makes all the difference in the world because you can take a 10-yard play and it goes to the house, man. It's demoralizing. But if you can stop that 10-yard play for being a 10-yard play, okay, we can live for another day.
Absolutely. And appreciate you, Code Talker. If you're in here right now, we got 152 in the chat. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Everybody on Mark's end, do the same thing. But yeah, your secondary, I feel like your secondary is fine, but it doesn't, like you said, with the front that you guys have, they don't need to be great. And that's what we thought and envisioned. I think that was what the blueprint of what Ron and company wanted us to be, but these guys haven't.
You guys had it. Going into last year, I thought you guys had it.
Shit, you thought I was talking crazy. I believed all of it. And I want to start with a guy named Montez Sweat, who was also taken in the first round a couple years ago, the 2019 draft. Mm-hmm. That guy has 0 sacks through 3 weeks. And it's not just that he has 0 sacks. He hasn't really sniffed the quarterback. And I know somebody in this chat, they're going to say, oh, but his pressure rate is top 10 in the league. I don't give a shit about that PFF pie graph nerd bullshit. Montez Sweat doesn't get a whiff of quarterbacks. He doesn't get his hand on them. The best pass rusher on the team name is Efe Abada, a guy that we signed, an international guy that we signed in the offseason. He has more wiggle and bend off the edge than Chase and Montez, and that makes me so upset. It makes me so upset.
I had a conversation earlier. Roz came over. He's commenting on your channel. I don't know if Roz is still in here or not. Because I was like, okay. I was going through the numbers for Micah Parsons. Right now he's on pace for 22.7 sacks. Okay, you can't get a 0.7 sacks. You can get a half or a 0. But I was going through and I was like, okay, so tell me how many pressures he had last year and what is the record for pressures. And he's going through, it's like, well, you got to understand a pressure is a hurry plus a hit and a sack. And I was like, listen, I said, all this stuff is really bullshit. I'm like, what's the difference between a pressure and a hurry?
It's stupid, man.
Wait a minute. You know what it reminds me of? It's kind of like when you have Little League football and everybody gets a trophy.
Yep, participation award.
Johnny, we know you didn't get a sack, but you got to hurry, son. Here's your trophy.
Hell yeah. I hate that shit. I hate that shit. I've been looking at the wide receiver grades, and I see guys with the highest grades that got 0 catches because they won on a few routes. Like, no, that's not that fucking eye test matters. Like, what are we even talking about with all these numbers? Okay, I don't know if it was a joke or meant to be seriously, but Jamin Davis, we've blitzed them the last couple weeks, and he has 3 sacks on the season. 1 behind Micah Parsons, 4. I seen a meme that said Micah Parsons is treated like he's this Greek god when he has 4 sacks, and Jamin Davis has 3. Why isn't he getting the same acclaim as Micah Parsons? If you saw that meme,
my man, shit. Our other guy that's got 3. How about D-Law? Okay, we got a bunch of guys that got 3 on our team.
Y'all got them to go around. It's if you actually think Jamin Davis and Micah Parsons belong in the same sentence, like my man Stephen A. Smith said, lay off the crack pipe, because they're not nothing. Cocaine is a hell of a drug, Rick James. But Jamin is coming into a groove because we found a role for him, but our linebacker unit is an issue. Our secondary, our linebacker, every unit of the defense is a problem right now. Like Cooper Rush may have his best day that we've ever seen him have versus our defense if we don't dial something up. To Jack's credit, the defense gave us a chance last week versus the Eagles, and the offense shit the bed. But most of what I'm used to is our defense getting their ass beat every week. But what are the key matchups and what are the keys to victory to Dallas versus Washington on Sunday?
Basically, Dallas is going to come. I hope they're going to be coming right down your throat, running the football, and then go to play action. I mean, here's what's crazy because, Roz, he's the number guy. I mean, he is Rain Man. And sometimes he drives me crazy with all the numbers where I literally feel like Bobby Boucher's mother. And it's like, the numbers are the devil. Okay. Your mind just kind of goes numb. But he put out the stat out there that no Cowboys quarterback has ever started out their career 4-0. So I don't know if that's a good thing for you guys, or if we're going to say that Cooper Rush, with Rush we trust, and the Dak Prescott haters out there, they're going to say that Cooper Rush is, Steve Young reincarnated or some shit like that. But again, the best thing for Cooper Rush is play action. And the best way to get play action is by being able to run the ball. If we can establish the run, and it's not sexy. It's not the 3 or 4 wideouts and going down the field. But it's winning football.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Baby Boy for the $4.99 super sticker. But yeah, man, the whole it's a very game. The whole game plan is how our offensive line handles Dallas's defensive line. Will Wentz get out of his head and not be afraid to make a mistake and just let that shit fly this week? And if our secondary decides they're going to cover this week, because if we're the slump busters, if you think CeeDee Lamb or any of your receivers have gotten into a funk this year, we are the antidote. We are the elixir. We are the medicine for any ailments that you have on your team. So if they come out playing like they play, we need Will Jackson to play this week. He hasn't done much, but we had a guy last week named Wild Goose out there trying to cover A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, and you've seen how that goes. And Kendall Fuller has been nothing but barbecue chicken all season. So as much as
barbecue chicken,
rotisserie, just spinning every week. I saw him on 5 posters versus the Eagles last week, and despite all of this negative shit that I'm saying, I think we have a chance to. I'm going to predict us to win this game 21-20. In Jerry World on Sunday, because we need it more than you do. And Ron and company, it's gonna be fucking Armageddon in the DC talk circuit and amongst fans. And that stadium gonna be empty as a bitch when we play the Titans next week if we don't win this game. So I'm pounding the table, 21-20 Washington. Somehow down 20-14 in the
Wow.
fourth. We're going to go down there and get an Antonio Gibson touchdown and go up 21-20 to close the game. How do you see this game playing out?
Well, I'm going to say that the Giant fans, the Giant cockroaches, first of all, let me say that the cockroaches. I haven't seen Giant fans like this past week since 2016. Okay, when they beat the Cowboys two times that season. They were thick in here. They were crazy at that stadium. That stadium was rocking. They had a whiteout and everything else, and it didn't seem to help too much. Any week, anybody can beat you. The Colts got their first win against Kansas City this week.
Yep.
So I'm not going to say that there's no chance in hell that you guys can win because, a couple of plays here and there makes all the difference in the world.
Yep.
Had your coaches not given up an extra touchdown there in the end, it could have been a totally different game and you could have beat the Eagles.
Yep.
And there's always about 3 or 4 plays in any game that you look and say, if these plays happen differently, a team can win. However, I say that the Dallas Cowboys should be able to dominate your defensive front. And it's won in the trenches. And I believe that our defensive front can dominate your offensive line. And that's where football is won. And I say, here's where I think it actually hurts your team. This draft was one of those drafts that there weren't a lot of superstar players. You didn't get the Micah Parsons of things.
Solid
but this
guys.
was a deep draft to get players that are the meat and potatoes of a team.
Yep.
And giving away the picks that you did, mid-round picks, there were a lot of really good defensive linemen that were second round, third round.
Hey,
Hell,
I mean, we flipped our first round,
like fourth rounds and stuff.
Hey, but I mean, we flipped our first round pick and ended up getting one in the second round who looked promising, and he got hurt and he's out for the year, week 1.
Well, yeah, and injuries, of course, are always a bad thing. But this is one of those years that I felt like the team actually got a lot of good pieces that are in there. We've got guys that probably won't even get onto the roster. You end up getting a guy that I loved. In fact, I've got his jersey over here, and I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
The John Ridgeway. Yep. John Ridgeway is very, very raw, but you could look at Quentin Bohannon, who we drafted last year, I think in the 6th round, who's a starter now at nose. He's a big wide body guy who is clogging up the middle. And that's something that the Cowboys haven't had in a long time because we've had great edge rushers. But the thing is, if you have just edge rushers and no defensive tackles, then it's like the parting of the Red Sea. The quarterback steps up in the pocket. He's got a clear view or he can take off. Quarterbacks are not able to take off because we actually have a defensive front in there. And that's where we ended up getting a lot of these guys kind of later in the draft that are beginning to develop. Because for the Cowboys, everybody focuses on Micah, but the reality is between having Osa and Digazua, between having Tristan Hill, between having
Williams,
Elmore, having Carlos Watkins, Quentin Bohannon, you're able to roll too deep, two fresh lines at the offense. And at some point, the offensive line is just going to be wore out. And that's not, counting, your Dante Fowlers, your Terrell Bashams, your D Laws, and your Micah Parsons. That's a lot to deal with.
Yeah, it's a whole lot to deal with. So before I get to your score prediction for the game, clapping that ass cheeks hit me with the 199 super. He said, who'd they name player of the game? I don't know if we had a player of the game, but I guess it would be Payne because he forced the safety, and that was the only real points we scored because I don't even count that Gibson garbage time touchdown. Door Gunners, appreciate you with the 5. He said, if we beat Dallas, they're going to say we lost because they didn't have Dak, and don't agree with you about Chase when he gets back. Hey, man, we can agree to disagree. He needs to show me something when he gets back. I'm not going to sit here and pacify and spoon feed him excuses. Oh, he's getting triple team and double team. No, he needs to get to the fucking quarterback when he gets back. And he needs to also teach Montez Sweat how to do so because they don't do that right now. Bloodshot Sports, thank you for the 199. He said, Mark, thanks for the D lineman. Should get his ass in the rotation at some point. Brother Ross, he said, hell, going to be jamming with Rio. Jamin Davis. Okay, we're going to be jamming with Rio. I like it. I need Jamin to show me some more, man. He said, "Is this the guy that blocked me for shit talking 301 Cowboys? Why you doing that?" Shout out to 301, by the way. We're gonna be doing a trash talk stream on Friday. I know he's gonna be coming with all his best bullshit because that's all he does is fucking troll.
Let me give out a shout out to one of your people here, Jared Taylor. He's a Washington fan. He said it's just hard as hell to be a Washington fan. He's
It's so hard.
Pray for us, man. Pray for us. Oh man, yeah, no. And see, back to that whole Pizzle thing. I actually love trash talking. This is what I grew up on with my family, my uncles and cousins and things like that. They were all Washington fans. My dad was the only Cowboy fan, so we always got the crap. And back in the day, there was no caller ID. Okay, that's how old I am. I'm talking about caller ID, and there was no smartphone, so you could see who was calling. And because you didn't know if it was an emergency call, you had to answer the phone all the time. And if it was Washington beat Dallas, oh my God, the phone rang all the time. Hey, let me speak to your dad. How about those Cowboys? you had the gravelly voice from them cigars and everything, right? And that's what I enjoy. And I love the going back and forth and giving you a hard time. You're going to be here Sunday, right?
Oh, I'll be there. I'll definitely be there on Sunday.
We're going to have the big 3-foot pulled pork sub.
Woo!
Okay.
Hey, see, that's the thing with Mark. I can go to his house. First of all, it was miserable watching us lose to the Lions and watching them win and just be happy around me and shit on me for hours. But if you go watch a game with Mark, you're going to eat well. You're going to eat well, and you're going to need lots of cardio the following morning. Shit, you may need to do some cardio prep before you go because he keeps a vicious spread of food. And despite what teams we like, we're friends at the end of the day. We're friends. You can text me, I can text you, I can call you. It should not get as personal as it gets on social media, which becomes like a cesspool at times. We can all talk shit on here about each other's team and still kumbaya because we're all just crazy and football makes us crazy. Shout out to Dijon Bell for the $4.99. Battle of Memphis Tigers, who has more yards from scrimmage, Pollard or Antonio Gibson. You know what? I need Gibson to have a good game this week. I'm going to take Gibson because he hasn't had a good game this year. It's time, and a broke clock gets right twice a day. I need Antonio Gibson to do it, but it's probably going to be Pollard if we're keeping it 100, though.
Who's going to have more fumbles?
Hey, Gibson's problem right now is that he's running not to fumble, and he's tiptoeing and he's being hesitant. But I don't know, man. I'm feeling it. We're bringing out the all-black uniform for the first time, meaning we're coming for war on Sunday. Okay. God damn it. I should have seen this coming. He said it was, in fact, these nuts. Shout out to the Super. They get me, him and Luck. They get me every stream, man. I get so entrenched into the conversation and into this goddamn chat that someone always gets me. They got me just like they did last time. And what's your score prediction for the game Sunday, Mark?
28-13.
28-13, 15 points. Oh, man, it's going to be a fucking week for us in D.C. There's all the fire Ron Del Rio, bench Carson Wentz for Howell, because it should be Howell, not Heineke, if he ever does get pulled.
For the first time, I actually saw it's time to start having a coaching search for you guys. I actually saw that article today, and I was like, uh-oh, the knives are out now.
You better go all in for motherfucking Sean Payton or somebody before y'all do. But no, I'm not going to Texas for the game. I'll be at Mark's house on Sunday watching the game with him, hopefully watching a Washington victory. Washington fan, we need therapy every week because it is a roller coaster on Washington Twitter, social media, and YouTube. After these games, I come home and scream at my computer for 30 minutes at a time. But let's talk about the team at the top of the division. What do you see from the Philadelphia Eagles, and did they put any fear into your heart after starting 3-0? Are they the best team in the league right now?
You know what's funny? The Cowboys start out 3-0, and they say, oh, well, they ain't played nobody. Right? Mm-hmm. During the game, I had Eagle trolls in here. You can only score 6 points against the Giants. Your team is ass. Okay, so we go on and we win, right? Oh, it's only the Giants. I'm like, you mean the Giant team that you lost to last year? That Giant team? And I'm not saying that the Eagles aren't a better team. They are a better team. I have to say they are a better team. But the fact that you got 9 sacks and 2 takeaways, and you didn't score any points the second half, and you let the Lions come back the way they did, that they, I know their butts were getting tight at the end of that game. Okay. When you go out and you beat I forgot you don't play any big games this year, do you? Oh, that's right. But I'm hoping. I'm happy that they got Hurts for MVP, and the Eagles are the number 1 ranked team. Let me see when you guys have some adversity. And the other thing is, when was the last time you've seen a team go wire to wire without Tom Brady being one team?
This is true. And with Philly, we're going to really see what they're made of this week, because it appears that the Jacksonville Jaguars are much improved, and Doug Peterson knows the Philadelphia Eagles. That's going to be a good game this week, because I'm at the point where I'm like, how the hell did we beat them week 1? Because they've looked like a well-oiled machine the last 2 weeks.
They look great.
And they look really good. Trevor's hitting his groove. We knew Doug Peterson was going to get him going. But, yeah, man, I like our chances. What do you think of the Giants after seeing y'all play them on Monday? Was their 2-0 start anything notable, or anything the NFC East needs to be concerned about going forward?
I tell you what. Now, see, when I did my game ball after the game, I actually gave a game ball to Daniel Jones, because Daniel Jones did not fumble the ball with all of the hits that he was taking. There was some ridiculous, like 26, 28 pressures on the guy. Okay, and back to the participation trophy. But he was beat to hell, and he still kept coming back. He ended up having some good runs and stuff in there. I was like, he was one of the few bright spots that they had, period. They put Galladay in there, who's been crying like a little biatch about, not being able to play, and he gets out there and he drops the pass. It's like,
ass.
You don't say nothing. Just don't say. And in fact, I was thinking that maybe he dropped that one intentionally, because it's like, I want to be traded.
Hell yeah. That shit was it looked blatant as hell.
He had the ball here and just goes, I was like, wait a minute.
Hell yeah, man. That shit is crazy, man. Kenny Galladay don't even look like he want to play football. He just out there for a check.
Not for them.
Yeah, he's out there for a check and vibe. Shout out my man Paulie. He said y'all overconfidence. Gonna get y'all beat on Sunday. Hey man, I think we have a good shot, Paulie. And F you, Paulie, by the way. That's how we say hello over here. That's my guy. Shout out to the First String Podcast. But yeah, man, I'll be Chuck Smith asked me, if we lose on Sunday, do I have to eat the blue chip? Do you happen to have the blue chips available?
Oh shit, man! I've got like 6 of those bad boys here, man.
I will eat the blue chip on stream if Dallas beats us Sunday. How about that?
Okay. Have you ever done one of those chip challenges before?
I've ate some really. I've tried it, like some Carolina Reaper blended up before, and I cried, my nose ran, and I had to rub ice on my face for like 2 hours.
So here's what I'm going to do for. If you, just in case, okay. And here's what's crazy, because I said if the Cowboys win against Cincinnati, I'll eat one of them. Okay, and I've done the chip challenge before, and I made the mistake of having an empty stomach, and you don't want to do that, because you will feel that chip every inch of your bowels as it goes through it. So have a full stomach, and if you have some ice cream, and I'll get a half gallon of ice cream. What flavor you like?
Hey, I like strawberry.
Okay, I'm gonna get a half gallon.
DMV said he'll eat the chip too if he wants.
Oh yeah, that's right. DMV has. That's right. If the Cowboys win,
he
he already said that if the Cowboys beat the Giants in Washington, he will eat one. So it could be 2 of you motherfuckers here. So this could be. Oh, this could be epic. And it's nice that all of our games are at 1:00. But yeah, I've got plenty of them, and I can get more. I can get plenty.
Hey, all for the sake of content and for putting confidence in my team. I will eat the chip on stream with DMV if we lose this game to Dallas on Sunday. You've heard it here. I'm not going to back down from it. I love spicy food. I am not afraid of that shit. I've taken on the Blazing Challenge at Buffalo Wild Wings. I've tried the Carolina Reaper. I will do that shit. I can't tell y'all how I'm going to react to it, but let's hope Washington gets this dub, because I'm not trying to eat that shit.
Okay, well, here's what I can say. It could be doubled up. Oh, my goodness. Mark Hutton, shout out. Pollard will be here next year. Yeah, I'll have the chips ready. I'll get the strawberry ice cream just in case, and I'll have some milk for you. So I'm hoping that we kick that ass now. Burgundy and gold, sure, man. Come on by, man. Come
He
on by.
said, yeah, appreciate the super, man. Mark is a great dude, man. He may like a stupid ass, overrated team, but Mark is a great guy. His family's great. It's always good camaraderie and vibes over at Mark's house. Will you be coming week 18 when y'all come down to Washington?
Oh, I've already talked to your buddy because I've actually got up to 100 tickets reserved in the same section. So we'll be tailgating. Okay, it's going to be the last game of the season. I don't know if it's going to be, for anything for either of us. But I got the patio heaters. I'll have the barbecue and everything else, and we're going to be out there and having fun.
Hell yeah, we're wearing. And they said David said they're wearing funeral black jerseys. Yeah, y'all funeral, because if we wear black to our own funeral, that would be the most demoralizing thing ever. Like, this is where we're at after 3 weeks. The black uniforms. There was already 2 set dates because you can only wear alternates twice in a year. We're having a blackout game when Kirk Cousins comes to town on November 6th, and we were going to wear them versus the Falcons later in the season as well. They said, fuck that. We need a spark. We need the fans back in it. We're pulling the black out right now because we mean business in Dallas this week. It's going to look terrible. It kind of feels like when we brought the benches to the stadium last year and got 56 put on our heads on Sunday Night Football. Someone brought that up in the chat. I'm still triggered by that one. Shout out to Big Money Sonny with the $5 super. He said, when the Redskins beat you in the past, who do you think would be the first person that called you on the landline?
Oh shit! It was like usually my dad actually, because he'd be like, "Damn, we lost. What happened?" Because we're talking during the game and stuff. But probably my buddy Jim Bloom, because if you actually come to my house, okay, and one thing, I just got a notification that Coolio just died.
Coolio,
59. I'm losing all the rappers that are my age, man. It's just
holy shit. Coolio died. Rest in paradise, Mike.
Yeah, definitely rest in peace, man.
Holy shit.
If you come to my man cave, I've got seat cushions behind me, Super Bowl seat cushions. In the bottom corner there, you'll see a Dallas Cowboy one. Behind that, you will see a Washington one. And there's a reason why the Washington one's behind it is because Washington is lost. And I have a standing bet with a guy who's no longer alive, my friend Jim Bloom. And we had a standing bet that whoever wins, their seat cushion gets to be out. And there's nothing worse than losing to Washington at the end of the season, because then I got to look at that all off season. So usually he was the first one to always call when we lost to say, my seat cushion better be out.
Hey, it turns out he was trolling you. He hit you with these big old nuts, Mark.
That's what it was. Okay.
That's what it was. And MPC, you must not know shit about hip hop if you don't know who Coolio is. You never heard of Gangsta's Paradise, my boy? Yeah, oh, there we go. I'm about to say, man, that's like one of the top 5 GOAT most recognizable hip hop songs of all time. But I think that's enough for Mark. Mark's an old man. He looks like he needs some rest. I think we're going to let him go on that one, man. Any closing statements you'd like to make before I come over Sunday and we watch our teams go at it?
That pulled pork will be slow cooked for 20 hours.
Woo! I'm ready for that.
20 hours, man. I won't be going to bed Friday night into Saturday. I'll tell you that.
Man, the hardest working man on YouTube Sundays. His setup, there's nothing like it. Thank you for coming on the show, Mark. I appreciate you as always, man.
All right. Well, I look forward to seeing you on Sunday, son.
Absolutely, man. I'll be there. I'll be there in my all black dress for Dallas's funeral. Hopefully, I don't got to eat that goddamn chip on stream, man.
Oh, I'll have them ready. Okay. We're going to call this the chip game.
The chip game. The Dallas-Washington chip game.
All right, buddy.
All right, man. All right. I'll see you on Sunday, Mark. All right. Now it's just gang in the building, y'all. It's just me and y'all. Let's talk some shit. What are we expecting to see on Sunday? Man, Hey, Queen, Gerald, yes, we do need this dub this weekend. And Sheen brings up a great point. Bro, did you watch 90s Nick, Keenan and Kel's theme? That shit was fire, yo. Coolio was that dude. R.I.P. to Coolio, man. Crazy hair. man, we lost another legend, man. It seems like we lose somebody all the time. Dallas's D-line is indeed elite. It is very much so elite, and I would not deny that at all. Brent said, watch people lose bets picking Dallas because of the Philly special fluke-ass Super Bowl. Hey, man, I can't call it fluke. My team ain't sniffed one. Real talk, just messing with Mark, but they taking the L Sunday. Hey, appreciate you again for the super. And of course, we know it's all love, man. Ain't no personal shit. We don't got time for the personal attacks over here. We have fun over here on Rambling with Rio, man. We have us a great ass time. Let me know who needs to have a big game for us on Sunday. Let me know who you guys' X factor for the game on Sunday is. I want to know, because mine is going to be Antonio Gibson. I need Antonio Gibson to have a real running back game. Like, I need him to have like 18, 19 touches, and I need him to – my bold prediction for Sunday is Gibson gets in the end zone twice. He catches a touchdown, and he runs one. And Lord knows we need that shit, and we need some momentum. If we come off a conference loss and 2 divisional losses back to back to back, it is going to be fucking doomsday in DC amongst the fans, the media, and oh my God, Ron might step down himself. No 5-7 drops this week. No bullshit. We need to start with a bunch of quick passes. Curtis Samuel, Dotson, and Terry need to be running drag routes and slants for days to start this game off, man. I was sad as shit when DMX died too. No celebrity death has ever hit me like Kobe's, man. I'm a huge LeBron fan, but I grew up watching Kobe. I admire and idolize that dude. When Kobe died and I found out the fashion in which he died and he lost his little girl, the father in me, I sobbed for hours, man. That shit hit me hard, bro. Hey, Rio, it's crazy. I feel like we're going crazy this Sunday. Bruh, we're putting on the all blacks. I got the black aesthetic on because we're coming for war on Sunday. This is a must-win game for us, not a must-win game for Dallas. They're sitting at 2-1 without their starting quarterback. They're in business right now. We need this shit more than they need it. So we have to win this game, man. Can't wait to see him suit up. Hell yeah, man. The graces of God, that man is safe and ready to go. I think he'll be back next week or the week after, but I would love to see him next week start the game. Or they may not rush him into the starting lineup, but that boy looked ready if you've seen him at practice. My man says John Bates is his X factor. Watch this be the game we win and have them draw us back in. Hey, super dope DB GOAT. Hey, they always do it. They always draw us back in. Last year, it was the Tampa game, which parlayed into a 4-game win streak that had me talking nuts on the channel, bruh. They always do it. They push us away. They abuse us. They beat us. They cheat on us. And then they buy us flowers. They buy us a new ring. They buy us a chain. They buy us something nice. They take us to a 5 Michelin star restaurant. And then they fucking let us down again. But man, we need to, oh my God, Kendall Fuller, I beg of you. And y'all got on me when I said his Madden rating was some bullshit, because there's no reason Kendall Fuller got an 87 rating on Madden, because Kendall Fuller is not good. But yeah, man, the running back room for sure. Cole Holcomb, let's talk about it for a second. For Jamin to be getting all this smoke from the coaching staff through 3 weeks, Cole Holcomb has fucking stank with some extra K's on it. Stank. He's been ass through 3 weeks, bruh. He ain't been covering. He's been missing tackles that led to touchdowns, and he wears a C on his chest. We need to see him show up. De'Ami Brown. Hey, I got my boy Cooley coming on tomorrow for the weekly live. He hates De'Ami Brown. De'Ami Brown just out there vibing, bro. He just out there vibing with his teammates, wearing a single digit. Someone need to snatch the single digit off his chest until he proves something like T.I. did, Lauren London and ATL, because De'Ami Brown adds nothing to the receiving room right now, and we need him to at least become a vertical threat or something. The X factor, yes. And it's not just Wentz. It's Wentz's brain, Wentz's psyche, Wentz's mentality. I don't need my quarterback playing scared. No, I don't want to see Taylor Heineke play football and start a game for me again. But he does let his balls hang, and he has a gunslinger mentality, even though he don't got the gun to shoot the ammunition. Carson has the body, the arm, and the talent of a gunslinger, but he doesn't have the mindset of it. A real gunslinger, Brett Favre, Tony Romo, those type of guys, they will throw 5 picks and win the game still. Wentz makes mistakes and is afraid to make another one, and it shows in his play. He gets tentative, he gets timid, and he gets gun shy. Don't get gun shy, Carson. I'd rather watch you throw 4 picks than to watch you play pussy on Sunday and to leave your gun in its holster, bruh. Let that shit fly. Shoot your shot, man. Shoot your shot and take chances. We need that shit. We're not giving you $28 million to, you know what I'm saying, be gun shy and to be walking into sacks 5 times a week. Wentz needs 300 passing and 2 touchdowns. I see around 290 and 2 touchdowns for Wentz and a rushing touchdown for Gibson and a 21-20 victory. And Gerald said Wentz in the offensive line. I agree. St. Juice had a day Sunday. He looked good. For the first time this season, St. Jude, we had a cornerback play a good game. He had a good game on Sunday, but we don't force turnovers. We're like allergic. We're anemic. We refuse to force turnover. Everybody in the league forces fucking turnovers but Washington. Can we win the turnover battle, the turnover margin for the first time of the year on Sunday? That would be huge for us. Is it possible? Shout out to Rick Diaz. He said fans since 72, Dallas 33, Washington 13. Don't say that, man. Don't say that, man. I would love for him to go crazy. I need week 1 wins back in full effect. Scott and Del Rio should be fired if they lose. Yo, we can't lose this game. Deron Payne right now looking like the interior lineman we should have gave the money to at this point. The boy's balling. The boy's got his sack numbers up. It's a contract year. You know how people get down when it's a contract year. Wentz and Bates. You know what name I would like to see on the field active in the offensive lineup? Cole Turner, because I raved about him all offseason and all camp, and suddenly that mysterious hamstring injury seems like Curtis Samuel shit from last year, and we haven't seen him yet. Bad bet, my guy. I lost so many bets picking Washington to win. Hey, man, it's just a chip. I'll take on that dumbass chip if they lose. I'll take your prediction, but with JD. Great point. JD McKissick. He's been the missing link in this offense right now. We're not utilizing his skill set. Maybe it's time that he takes over the full-time duties or at least gets more touches than Gibson if he's still running like hesitant, if he's still tiptoeing to the line. Shout out to the super sticker again. Baby boy, y'all blessing me with the super tonight. I appreciate you, my guys. Gooseman said Kendall Fuller needs the game of his life. I would love to see a corner catch 2 picks. Is it possible that we can have someone catch 2 picks right now? Offensive line, they need to eat their Wheaties this week or they're going to get wild. Wild Goose needs to be an X Factor. Shit, put in Fields Castro at this point. I've seen Wild Goose play, and I never want to see the name Wild Goose on a football field on a Sunday ever again. I seen that shit from 10 rows back on Sunday. I don't ever want to see it. Appreciate you, Big Money Sonny, for the $5 super chat. Brent said, no screens were thrown against Philly. That shit is crazy. They're coming at you with heat all day, and we didn't throw like 1 screen to like the 3rd quarter. That shit is crazy. Scott Turner, go back in the booth, my guy. The sideline shit isn't working. Yeah, man, that Kobe shit hit me hard, man. That shit hit me really hard, bro. That shit really took me to a dark place, man, because not only losing your life, but all the kids that were lost, and knowing that your final moments in life, you had to know that your daughter didn't have a chance to survive, and you had to hold your daughter on the way down. Putting myself in that situation, that shit absolutely broke my fucking heart. Y'all look stupid in the all blacks with y'all dumbass logo. Listen, 301, we're going to talk our shit on Friday. Them black jerseys look better. Them black uniforms look better than anything that you motherfuckers wear with your numbers not matching the helmet ass uniform. That helmet looks great. The reason why it was a meme was because Jonathan Allen shouldn't have been the person modeling the original model of the black uniform. Jonathan Allen has a big-ass space orbit head, and he wears a Halo Combat Chief helmet, and that shit looks stupid. Look at the skill position players who wear the flex helmets and shit and tell me that helmet ain't fly. Fuck out of here. Oh, no. He's not getting benched on Sunday, Mike. We're not even going there. I got Kobe rookie card. Hey, you got to keep him forever, man. You got to at this point. My man Cole said the best thing that will happen for y'all Sunday is wearing them all blacks. We're going to see, man. I think we're going to win the game on Sunday, and that's just not delusional Homer Rio talking. We have to win on Sunday. All black equals a convincing win for us or a funeral. I can see it. I think we either get blown out or we win. Black don't crack for sure, man, for sure. I'll be 31 in a couple weeks, man. I need this team to give me a couple W's before we get there. It's a revenge game for them taking our home, bringing in their own seat. Hey, it's a revenge game because I don't know if y'all remember last time we went to this stadium, they put 60 on us on our head tops on Sunday Night Football, and they had our own players fighting on the sideline. It's a revenge game for that, and they swept us last year. We got to come with it. Washington is the toxic spouse, girlfriend, significant other. Yes, and we keep coming back to her. They have a chokehold over my life. Now they're ranked number 1 thanks to the Commander. Oh, man. We gotta protect the quarterback on Sunday, man. What can I say? How you doing, Deshaun? How you feel, man? Great stream, man. Love the football trash talk. I love it, man. I love it. I love having fans of all bases come in, chime in, give us their insight, their analysis, and talk their shit, man. Why is Mayo in the league? That is a great question. I have no idea because he gives great motivational speeches. I remember me and Jalen from Bleeding B&G, who y'all need to sub to, by the way. I remember he gives the best pregame speeches. Maybe he needs to be an extra in the next great football movie that comes out because he's good at that, not good at football. I'm riding with my guy. I'm riding with him for the season, bro. I'm going to ride with Carson, bro. Through the flaws, through the fucking sacks and turnovers, man. I'm going to ride with my guy Carson until we don't. Not a must win. Remember the year Alex Smith got hurt? Hey, man, it's a week-to-week league, but I would say the way our schedule line up, you know what I'm saying? This is a must-win game. Back-to-back division losses in September and 3 straight conference losses is not the recipe for turning a season around. Milo Eifler didn't even have a graphic last year when we played Dallas. That shit was crazy. Like that shit was wild. But yeah, he needs to get more time on the field as well. I agree. Wentz has no line. He doesn't. He's not the crux of the problem, but he hasn't been part of the solution our last 2 games. The battle of the ginger quarterbacks. Hell yeah. I'm taking my ginger over y'all's, bruh. Ain't no quarterback named Cooper about to cook us, bruh. I don't believe it. DeAndre, don't be, bruh. We wearing the all blacks this week. We coming in exuding confidence. We coming in with the new drip. They not ready for it, man. We're winning the game on Sunday. I don't give a fuck if it's ugly. I don't care if it's 6-3, if it's 10-6. We're winning the game on Sunday. I don't want to feel like I've felt these last 2 weeks. I came out of Sunday out here like, oh my God, we need to draft the quarterback and fire everybody. I don't want to feel like that no more, man. I want to get back to dubs, man. I hate to say it, but I think Micah's good. Oh, he's gonna be there because that boy Micah different, bro. Everything we dream about for Chase Young and Montez Sweat, Micah is that times 1,000. What's good with you, my boy? You going to the Tennessee game next week? We're not getting any. I don't give a fuck about kudos, bro. I want to win. There is no style points in the NFL, and they beat Taylor Heineke twice last year. Did they get style points or kudos for that? Just win the game. I do not want Heineke out there. If we have to see another quarterback at some point, it needs to be Sam Howell. There's no upside or any point or solution to playing Taylor Heineke, but that's my personal opinion. Those guys didn't get beat up like Carson, who has no line. This is true. O-line step up. Wentz be looking like a dweeb sometime. Oh, yeah, he looked shell-shocked. 9 sacks last game. I know he's got sacked 15 times the last couple of weeks. We let Aiden Hutchinson have 3 sacks and a half. I've never heard of a quarterback getting sacked 9 times. I'm a Washington fan, so I've heard of that shit. And I don't know about the future, but we're going to see, man. I'm riding with him until he's not. Taylor Heineke has moxie and can run for his life. He can, but he can't fucking throw the football. And we can't throw outside the numbers, and it limits what we can do offensively. Wentz, the most sacked quarterback in the league. Rio, Dallas. Oh, no, they're great. They're not good. They're great up front. I know. But we have to win this game, man. I just cannot stomach 1-3, 3 straight conference losses, 2 straight in the division. We got to force some turnovers eventually, right? Broken clock theory. It's right twice a fucking day. Can we force turnovers? Cam Curl's back. Can he force a turnover? Everybody talks about Cam Curl being a dog. He is a dog. Force a turnover. That shit is crazy, man. They don't like nice things. Even when the pick is right in their hands, we don't catch it. Yes, he's mobile. He has that over Wentz. Nothing else. R.I.P. Coolio. Shout out to Big Simple. Make sure y'all sub to my hype man, my guy, Big Simple 422, by the way. Wentz is so bad now. I won't say he's so bad, though. He's had 2 bad games. Well, he's had 2 horrible first halves and a complete bad game versus the Eagles. I'm waiting to know when Cole Turner's going to play. Clearly, they weren't being forthright about his hamstring injury. Clearly, it wasn't precautionary. Clearly, it was some real shit going on in his hamstring. It feels very a la Curtis Samuel circa 2022, 2021. JD doesn't tiptoe. JD McKissick, he runs into the turf monster every time he touches the ball. You know what I'm saying? But I need to see more JD on Sunday. Maybe hit him with like 6 passes on Sunday. William Jackson III be getting his shit roasted, but nobody got rotisserie flambéed and cooked like Kendall Fuller. Go back and watch the pictures that were taken from Sunday's game. Kendall Fuller was on like 7 posters on Sunday. Not JD or Gibson. Unleash Jonathan Williams. Shit, it may be time to. We need some fresh blood out there, man. We need to surprise some folks. You know what bothers me when I look around league-wide compared to what I see our team does? I had this conversation with my boy Cooley on the ride home from FedEx last week. He's going to be on the show with me tomorrow, by the way. Every team has something, a wrinkle, something schematically that sneaks up on another team, something to catch them by surprise. Why don't we ever have anything that catches people by surprise? We never have some shit to just unload on somebody like, holy shit, where did that come from? We don't have that. It's kind of like game script. If the game script don't work, we don't got nothing else for y'all. Let's let Jesus take the wheel and see what happens at that point. Diehard Eagles fan, saw you on Sunday and took some pictures. Oh, yeah, you showed us. Oh, yeah, we took some pictures and you got a picture of me. Appreciate chopping up with you in the concourse at the game Sunday. Appreciate you. Y'all got the best of us and y'all took over our stadium. It hurt my soul a little bit, but there's a lot of good people in y'all fan base. There's also some assholes who got in some stupid fights, but Kelly, you are one of the good ones. I appreciate meeting you and chopping it up with you on Sunday. Where's your lady friend? Which lady friend we talking about? I got a few lady friends, man. As y'all can see, from my vlogs, I have a good time at the stadium. I find all the females, chop it up, get pictures with them. If there's one thing that is guaranteed on Sundays at FedEx Field, it's not victories, is that there's going to be some fine-ass women all over that stadium, and if there's going to be fine-ass women in that stadium, your boy Rio's going to find them, man. I'm going to have a good time at that dumb-ass stadium, bro. I don't want to ever see Taylor Heineke start a game for my football team again. I'm cool, man. If we got to play another quarterback, it's Sam Howell. I'll take him any day. I want to imagine him. Yo, chill out, 301. 301, take your horny ass to sleep, bro. Friday's stream is gonna go off the rails. I can already tell. Yeah, man. We gotta add something that catches guys off guard at this point. The black uniforms, it's an atrocity that we don't have a primetime game to wear them in because they're not going to hit the same at 1 o'clock, but they are going to look good under the lights at Jerry World because it's a dome. Which game does Chase Young come back? I think he comes back the Packers game, October 23rd. That's my prediction, but who knows? It could be sooner. Can we blitz Cooper Rush like they would do us? Let's hope Jack Del Rio gets in his bag because the game plan wasn't bad versus Philly, but the offense didn't give us any chance. They gave us the defense kept us in it early, but we got 178 in the chat. Smash that like button. We're about to close this stream out in a second. I wish they would give us an update on Cole Turner because he should be playing this week. William Jackson was a full participant today. Cole Turner is an enigma at this point. I expected to see him by now. I thought he was coming back week 2. We're at week 4. We haven't seen him yet. Roll Tide for sure. Payne is doing everything to help out getting his bag this year. Fuck it, bring back DJ Swearinger. Shit, I'll take him right now, bro, because Bobby McCain damn sure not the answer. Facts. McCain basic as hell, super basic, man. Cooper Rush is the better gingivitis. Winston, I'm not trolling. You are trolling because you don't fucking believe that. Backup quarterbacks are good in spot duty, bro. They cannot do it over extended body of work or an extended period of time. But hey, we're gonna see on Sunday. Parsons couldn't even get a sack on Jones because everybody else was getting sacked. DeMarcus Lawrence had 3 sacks. The rest of his crew did. Micah Parsons is a dog, and I can't say any Micah Parsons slander because I wish we had an edge rusher or an off-ball backer that was half the player of Micah Parsons. Shout out to Leno. He said, man, you the voice of the people. These cuss words are perfectly played. Hey, I appreciate it, man. I'm raw. I'm a cursor. I'm a avid user of obscenities and profanities. I cannot help it. I try not to over curse, but this is who I am innately. I'm a raw person. My podcast started off as called Rambling About Washington, which is what my weekly streams are. That is an acronym saying RAW because we keep it raw, unfiltered, and impartial, and we go hard on this show. We say what we got to say. They thought I was going to get soft because I got in this fan ambassador thing. Oh, Rio not going to talk bad about the team anymore. When they need to be shitted on, I'm going to call them boys out. When they need to be praised, which is not too often, I'm going to praise them. That's how we roll over here on the Rio Robinson Rambling with Rio YouTube channel. But we are wearing all black. It's not intimidating. It's cool. We about to get our drip off and we about to win. So we coming into y'all building this week and we coming to get this W. Shout out to everybody. So, hey, someone put an APB out for Montez Sweat because he ain't got a sack or close to one this year. But let me see. You think they'll fire Ron if we show another bad performance? Now, I think Ron's not getting fired no matter what. Ron's not getting fired in season no matter what happens. But I don't even see him getting fired. But that's a conversation we're going to have another day. I appreciate if Dallas gets a sack record, fire Scott Turner if he refuses to make adjustment. Like Doc Walker, he be in our ass. He gonna mess around and get fired for sure. Now, Doc Walker keeps it a buck. He keeps it raw. Imagine hearing Doc Walker and B. Mitch call a game. Shit, throw me in that booth and throw Fred Smoot in there, and you're gonna have the most rated MA call in NFL history. Shout out to the 181 that are still in the chat. Thank y'all for rocking with your boy. That is this week's game preview. I'll be back tomorrow with a weekly live, 9:30 with my boy Cooley. And we're going to be chopping it up again. Friday, I'm bringing troll-ass 301 Cowboys. Same time, 9:30 for a stream of straight shit talking and trolling. So make sure y'all come in Friday to shit on 301 and this weak-ass troll sauce that he's about to bring in on Friday about our squad. Snyder better be forced to sell the team. I'm not like my man Disco on Twitter, shout out to my guy, said, I'll start dancing when the DJ puts the music on. I'll believe it when I see it. I don't even want to entertain it until we see some progress on there. Shout out to channel member Merrill Garrett. My boy Ron will be fired. They get blown up. He's not getting fired in season, man. They're not going to fire him in season. They don't move like that. And Ron is one of the few things of Teflon and someone to fall on a sword for Dan's ineptitude. It's not going to happen. I'm going to make a fake account and make his whole ass block me again. Why don't he just sell it like the Suns owner? Because he's stubborn. And he refuses to. The league said that you should sell the team. He said, fuck no. I'm going to live to be 100 and I'm going to pass it to my son, because that's how things work. We're stuck with him for life. Appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy. I'm checking out for the night. Hour and a half stream. If you checked in late, you can check the playback. Keep hailing to the Washington Commanders, and whoever your squad is, rep them hard, talk your shit. Until next time, deuces.